a remake that may have actually lived up to the standards of fans, the hype train speculation going on in the D2 community, as my predictions were correct from last week, a game that I have to warn you, if you do end up giving it a try, please play responsibly. This week on the Game Sesh, on the Mr Psyke Show. FF7, or Final Fantasy VII Remake, has been in gamers' hands for a bit now, and the positive reception of the game couldn't be better news to hear for a gamer like myself. The open world, though, through the conversations I've seen, is slightly cookie cutter in its open world design, a wonderful view into some of the characters' themes and the towns the FF7 fans have been waiting for some time. The score to the game is also massive, and it has... Not the score as in the gamer score. The musical score to the game is massive, with over 400 songs, and many wonderful renditions that have added some fresh vibes to the game, while giving fans of the series some new versions to gush over. Streamers who have an appreciation for the game seem to approve of the game, as well as friends of mine who are also looking forward to this great release. The initial Final Fantasy VII Remake was the big game in my opinion, because had it been overly bad, that would have set up a rocky road for the trilogy going forward. Since it hit fans at that very, least a serviceable case on the negative end, and very, very well for most fans on the positive end, we were able to put aside the initial fear of it just needing to be good. However, Rebirth is the game that most people would have in mind when it came to the parts of Final Fantasy they actually wanted remade. That feeling you get after leaving Midgar in the initial game is a pivotal moment that gamers blessed enough to experience for the first time in their youth, at a time when that game was doing things others weren't, will surely live in the memories forever. Since so many outlets are reporting well in the game, I'm able to sigh another gamer's sigh of relief as I prepare to play through it myself. This might just be me, but usually when my game is a good piece of art, I very rarely get to see spoilers, so when things are good, spoilers don't pop up very much. I'm sure in the coming weeks we will begin to see those discussions, and players can dig into the meat of whether or not the story liberties and character developments are going to hold in the hearts the way the original story did. However, the overall success of this game has made me overjoyed that out of my list of a few games, I would be totally devastated if they were remade bad. Final Fantasy VII, though, not with all, seems to not be one of those games, and is hitting fans where it matters most, right in the feels. Fans are going chocobo feathers over Tifa and Cloud's swimsuit pictures, ultra gamers are posting up piano performances, and I, once again, get to enjoy another wonderful timeline of pictures of my beautiful villain Sephiroth on my timeline. All things in balance, as past me last week expected, right off the buzz of skimmers dropping in Destiny 2 and setting off a flash grenade in the eyes of the Destiny 2 fans, a teaser in the shape of a very confusing piece of art dropped in this week at Bungie. Along with the artwork with some elements that might be considered never before seen, an announcement for upcoming announcements via livestream about Into the Light came up. Into the Light is a piece of content that is seemingly being inserted between now and the final shape to try and hold players over and lead into the upcoming release. There's also been some mention on the Bungie side that part of Into the Light is going to help new players onboarding going forward. While the community goes crazy, speculating all over the place, I personally think it will be a horde mode. That's just me. We wait patiently as the hype ball is slowly pushing over the side of the hill. I'm gonna go ahead and try to predict now, as I did with the announcement of the announcement, there's probably gonna be one, maybe two trailers in the upcoming live streams. Bonus points if they tease something for content for after the final shape. You can go ahead and check Bungie's sites for dates for the live streams. However, I will most likely be covering some of the info after the streams are over and the community conversation has started. Like most of my Destiny segments, it always ends with eyes up, Guardian. Still to the final shape. Listen, if you would have told me last week that I'd have a card game paused on my desktop because I could barely pull myself away long enough to finish my show setup for this week, I would have told you that I needed a little puff of whatever it is you were smoking on before going on about that day. If you haven't heard about this one yet, a deck builder game called Balatro came out, and there's a good chance that if you go and try this, After listening to this, there's a high likelihood that you will not be paying attention for my next week's show. Balatro is a roguelike deck builder centered around building poker decks. Yeah, you heard that right. While having a baseline understanding of how poker hands are won and played, that's a good start, but it's not necessary to play this game or enjoy it. You don't need any of that. You will get sucked into this game. Believe me when I say that I'm worried about the potential of my sleep schedule as my eyes dart off to the little Joker card swiveling around on my screen, waiting for me to finish this next run. As its core mechanic, you score points against the so-called house as you try to use your score multiplier to beat the current blind on the board. The blind is essentially the boss condition you need to win that hand. You get a certain number of discards to build and play hands from your current board, and then you have to beat the points on the ante for the house, and you win, and you go on to the next run. When you win, whatever bet you're playing, you can accrue money to buy cards to help your hand going forward. Pretty simple, right? You will not be able to play just one hand of this game. What early on starts as a game of simple points becomes a board of multipliers, strange and unique Joker cards, tarot cards, and the biggest case of the one mores I have ever felt in a long time. What does this card do? Adds a point multiplier? Adds a point multiplier to flushes? Okay. Wait, there are cards that let you change suits to other suits? What if I made a flush deck? Is that even a thing? Hey, looks like it is. Wait, does that multiplier stack? I can move the Joker card order? Is that a banana? Should I go for the flush here? What the hell does that card do? One more run. Just one more run. I know how to play poker, but it's not like my peanut butter and jelly, but this game is a perfect blend of card elements, roguelike elements, and a dash of madness that makes me need to hit the new run button again and again. And after I'm done with this show, I'm gonna go finish my last run. You can watch previous episodes of the Mr. Psyke Show here. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. And remember to be kind to each other. Peace.